It's Conduit News Radio with Paul Harrell.
With us on the phone is Joey McCutchen, and Joey has been at the forefront of this battle in the state of Arkansas on the issue 1, tort reform, that was supposed to be on the ballot. And as we speak, a judge has just late yesterday issued his decision that issue 1 is unconstitutional and it should be removed from the ballot. So, Joey, thank you so much for joining us. Are you there?
Thank you, Jan. I'm here.
Okay, awesome. So how did you feel when you heard that judge's decision yesterday?
Well, I felt not necessarily good, because what I want to do, Jan, is I want the people to decide this in November, to finally put this issue behind us, this infringement upon the people's right that is so-called named tort reform. So bottom line is, I want to win in November. Legislators and special interests say they want to give the people, that's the only reason they're putting this out, is to give the people the chance to vote. Well, I think it's time to vote. I think it's time for the people to vote, is what I think.
So you must be feeling pretty good about the response that you've had across the state. And by the way, Michelle McMillan, before the break, I was talking to her about how to introduce you, as whether it's with the Liberty Defense Organization. And she said, introduce you as a member of the Arkansas Women Against Issue 1. So you guys working together, I know, but yeah, so you must have been feeling pretty good about the response that you've been getting across the state, because I know it's a tough job to educate people on something that seems so complex. Can you put it in a nutshell for people what the issue is here?
Yeah, it's really amazing, the coalition of folks on the left, folks on the right. You've got the Arkansas Family Council with Jerry Cox. You've got the AFL-CIO. You have Conduit for Action. You have Conservative Arkansas. You have Second Amendment advocates, as you are one, who are obviously jumping in and standing up for the Seventh Amendment here in our Constitution, our Arkansas Constitution. We call it Article 2, Section 7, that the right to trial by jury shall remain inviolate. So the coalitions have been amazing. People.
That's why, Joey, when you sent me a text almost a year ago, it seems like, and asking where I stand on issue 1, I almost laughed, because you should know that Jan Morgan is always going to support. Jan is always about the Constitution and the constitutional rights, and then there's no excuse. There's absolutely no excuse to trample the rights of the people, and this clearly is one. And yet, I'm wondering, because you've been out there and you've been talking to Republican Party organizations, Tea Party organizations, citizens groups, anybody that would basically listen to you. And I wonder if you found it interesting that even within the Republican Party and the Tea Parties, that there was a divide on this issue, because, both both parties are supposed to be about the rights of the people. And this is very clearly a constitutional issue.
Yeah, I've over the years, I've been very disappointed in my party, the Republican Party, that they have fronted this. Sometimes it seems like it's party over people. But I think people, when they actually see what this is doing, for example, when they see that this issue, what Judge Pierce ruled on this was violative of the Article 19, Section 22 of our Constitution. So again,
right.
It's about the Constitution. This is simply another government overreach produced by our legislature and the special interests that are controlling them. That's what this is all about. We're trying to cram, four sections into something that's only supposed to be one amendment, and
right.
I
wanted to hear from you. It is. I wanted to hear from you before we go to a break. I wanted to hear from you, the Lieutenant Governor, who's always been, I thought it was part of the conservative base of the Republican Party, and yet the Lieutenant Governor came out and spoke in support of issue 1. Was that? I want to know what your feelings were when you saw that. That became a big story.
Yeah, well, it's no surprise as he's part of he's a part and parcel of Karl Rove, and it's very disturbing that we have a lieutenant governor who's supposed to stand up for right, yet this places an arbitrary value on life, who's supposed to be standing up for our Constitution, and clearly even this piece of legislation is unconstitutional.
Okay.
I mean, what does our lieutenant governor thinks it means when the right to trial by jury shall be inviolate? So, very disturbing. Number one, I think that the lieutenant governor's position should be abolished anyway. It's a do-nothing job, and all the job that all he's doing is flitting around. My word, running for governor, and I don't think it's right. I think he needs to get a real job and quit living off the taxpayers' dime.
All right. Well, there you go. Joey McCutchen never backing off of sharing how he really feels on a situation. Joey, thank you so much for joining us. And we're going to have you back on a little later today with our 7 o'clock hour to talk more about this issue. Thank you so much for calling in. And we'll be checking with you. Congratulations on your a win yesterday with one of our judges. All right.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Okay, we're going to take a quick break.
Okay, so we're back, and with us once again is Joey McCutchen. He has been at the forefront of the battle against Issue 1 in Arkansas, and yesterday was a big day on that battlefront because a judge he ordered that this Issue 1 was unconstitutional and that it must be removed from the ballot. So, Joey, I was thinking you would be jumping for joy because you and people like Michelle, who is with Women of Arkansas Against Issue 1, you've worked so hard to educate people and to stop this to stop the voters from making the wrong decision here. So, but yet you say you're not jumping for joy. What's with that?
Because we can't go to sleep. I mean, because the Supreme Court, we don't know what the Supreme Court's going to do. We assume that the folks who are pressing for an arbitrary value on life and all of these things in Issue 1, that they're going to appeal to the Supreme Court. We don't know what the Supreme Court will do, number one. So we can't go to sleep, Jan. We've got to continue to educate. We've got to continue to speak. We've got to prepare because we want to win this thing at the ballot. We want to win it with the people, Jan. That's so important that we win this fight with the people voting.
But Joey, for example, in the May primary, only 18% of registered voters in this state bothered to even vote. So you have to worry, if this remains on the ballot, you have to worry, will enough people be educated on this issue to understand what's at stake, or will they fall for any misinformation that's been put out there about what this really does? Because there's been a lot of information out there. For example, you had various the other side of this issue is saying, oh, this is going to draw more business into our state and our economy suffering, so we need more business. This is good for business. In fact, it was good for Texas business. So isn't there this fear that if it does get on the ballot, that not enough people will know what's going on and be educated enough to make the decision that you would want them to make?
Well, I trust Arkansans. We Arkies aren't as dumb as some of the elitists would try to intimate. But I trust people, just like I trust people on juries to make decisions when a person, for example, Vicki Jansen, Jan, who was a client of mine, I lived 12 years as a vent-dependent quadriplegic after the negligence of Ford and Firestone. I trust the people to make those decisions about is $500,000 fair for a vent-dependent quadriplegic who never got to hold her Down syndrome child again. So I trust people, and I think we've got to continue. You make a good point. We've got to continue to educate because the falsehood that the other side is putting out is miraculous, and we've got to expose the lies. I mean, it's apple pie and Chevrolet. I mean, we've got the lowest unemployment rate since 1969 in the state of Arkansas. The proponents of this, they recognize that we've got jobs in Arkansas. If you listen to Randy Zook said we just don't have the workforce to fulfill the job. So this isn't about
that's not only in Arkansas. That's not only in Arkansas. That's around the country. That's not only in Arkansas. We've got more jobs than we've got people.
This is about classic government overreach. I mean, what Judge Mackey Pierce ruled shows another government overreach, trying to jam 4 amendments within issue 1, and it violated our Constitution. How many times are special interests who drafted issue 1, how many times are they going to violate our Constitution? I'm thankful for our Constitution, Jan. You know, a Constitution, Article 5, Section 32, which says a legislature cannot limit damages. That's the only reason that the people are getting to vote now, is because our founding fathers saw that the railroads were corrupt in 1874. And now it's the big-time nursing home industries who are pushing this. Let's not forget about a nursing home owner who gave Jake Files an $80,000 wire transfer. Are those the people, that senators who will take bribes, are those the ones we want drafting our court rules, or drafting issue 1, which is looks like clearly unconstitutional?
Yes, sir. Well, Joey, thank you so much for all you've done on the battlefront there, and good luck with getting this on the ballot. That's what you want. Thank you so much for joining us.